We're glad to have you back. You're still watching Arise Prime Time, where we offer perspectives on the news and talking points of the day. I am Ndi Amogo. Now, overall, the PDP zoning decision has set off a chain reaction that could shape the party's prospects come 2027 presidential election. Whether Jonathan will agree to fly the PDP flag or B will jettison the ADC coalition and run under the PDP banner remains to be seen. Well, joining me on Prime Time is author and political analyst, Professor Udenta, to review some reactions from the PDP's zoning of the 2027 presidential ticket to the South. Glad to have you join me, Prof.
Indeed, it's a pleasure to be with you after a long while.
We're already here. We're already chatting before.
Oh, sure.
Now, PDP has zoned its presidential slot to the South. What informed this official position, because it's official now, yes. And your discussion, of course, with the Bauchi State Governor, Bala Mohammed?
Okay, now, yesterday, he was on a different channel for 40 minutes, odd minutes. And he was asked precisely this question: why did you as a person, take the bold leap of faith? You have a presidential ambition well advertised. You have an infrastructure built over years. You have a machinery ready to roll. And he suspended all that and said, you will lead a party, because as the chairman of the Governors Forum, the most important institution now, with, of course, weak NWC fractures over some time. BOT is very important too. The NAS caucus is something else. So the Governors Forum seems to be the epicenter of the gravity of the parties in the power. And being the chairman automatically elevates him as the leader of the party in a way. Now you find the former vice president, the last candidate of the party for the presidency, in a different party. So the course is clear for him as a leader to say, we keep the zoning open, nebulous, ambiguous, the way they did in the past, or we take the hammer down. He encouraged his colleagues in the Governors Forum. They reached a consensus, brought it to the Board of Trustees and the caucus. Let us, for the first time in this republic, categorically and expressly zone this thing to the South for two strategic reasons. One, the moral question. Zone is a matter of moral restraint. You have a Bola Tinubu as a president from the South in 2023. The cycle is actually 8 years. You can do one time if you like, but if you like, we can do two. That is 8 years like Buhari did. If you have a Southern as a president for 4 years, you need to, your party need to zone it to the same South. And the person there, we understand the same moral imperative to do only one time. Like Obi said, we do. Like Jonathan, if he's the candidate of the party, if he comes on board, we do. So that's the first reason. Second is for stability. Stability of the party. 2023 was very raucous. Internal dissension, contradictions, because they said they have what zoning to the South, and they saw what happened. A lot of top members of the party rebelled. We don't want that sense of rebellion again, because it's a careful treading of the needle in patching all the parchments of the party together. They navigated that. And as he said in that interview, I had to shut down my presidential ambition for the overall interest, not of the party alone, of Nigeria and of our democracy. And everybody else said, that is the right thing to do. For me, on air somewhere else, I said, PDP strategic zoning to the South will be a game changer. For the simple reason that the president is from the South. If you have a candidate from the North, there is no chance in hell. And I want a debate on this matter. Is Northerner can defeat a president of a president of a certain extraction in this kind of environment now. Already you're hearing from the APC and the presidency, anybody coming from the South is splitting our vote, unity of the South, solidarity of the South. That is mythology, all right. But the signal is that the South is going to bind together to take that which they believe is their own until 2031. So no Northerner will Ghana, I repeat, 25% of the vote in the South. It will be difficult. That means some states are gone already. And you have the middle belt to contend with. If you have a Southern candidate, there's a Sheyi Makinde already a governor. There's Peter B, a member of the party before. Jonathan, the former president under the party's platform. Knocking, possibly the party knocking on their doors.
So are you saying, Prof, that PDP is finally getting a grip on its many varied challenges that is broadcast all over the place?
Let me tell you, those challenges are not varied. They were two principal challenge.
Okay.
The crisis of identity that came after the last election that the party lost. And the anger of a segment of the party, not just the G5, other people within the party bloc were not comfortable with what happened. So that particular sense of angst and discord deepened over time. It's been simmering, but then burst into the open. That's one. The next is the issue of the national secretary. So the chairman of the party, ultimately, Ambassador Damagu, of course, respected party decision and became part of that conclave of party leadership. This idea then was that the national secretary, who is like a neck of the party, the chairman is the head, the secretary is the neck, the rest is the body, seemed to be disaligned. The moment the party took that courageous step and restored him back to his position and to guide the party with the rest of the NWC till November, all the noise about PDP disappeared. As I predicted, it would disappear. Because at that stage, the problem wasn't political anymore, it was legal. If you have used any other person but that young, with the party would be in a legal quagmire. That's why NEC has actually observed their last 3 NEC meetings and signed up to the convention. So the party has actually come out of the woods. But still, a lot of work needs to be done by the members of the party. I'm not a member of the party, but I'm very close watching what is going on there now, to navigate it to the convention in November.
Don't you think, as is discussed in some quarters or circles, if you like, that zoning represses efficiency, effectiveness, experience, and depth?
Okay, now I've said this in a few instances in the past, not even now. I actually authored a document called Rotation of Power, an Igbo Possibility 2010. I did make that statement, and I have remade that statement some time ago. I'm from Bo, local government area of Enugu State, a small community. We have possibly 25, 30 professors.
Ogo, right?
Yes, Ogo.
That was where I did my studies.
Yes, sure. That's it. In the hill there, mountains top there.
That was where we went.
Absolutely. Over almost 30 professors, over 60, 70 doctors.
30 professors.
Oh, yes. And then you find so many people from different professions. So we can form not just a cabinet, we can populate many federal agencies and commissions in one village. That means across the country, we have the country brimming with talent. In the north, in the east, in the west, in the south. So zoning does not contradict efficiency and depth and breadth of experience. No. The idea is that if you need to zone to the area, your geography, your area, you look for the best. You don't look for the guy or the woman who will not do it. You look for the best, and the best is available.
But the politicians look for the best, really.
Well, you see, whether you have a zoning or not, if you don't look for the best, you will not look for the best. Assuming that you don't have a zoning arrangement.
You know why I'm asking that?
I'm saying
there are permutations when these things want to go on. And I don't know that it's usually the best that politicians
The problem is that philosophically, our position here, even on this table, if you don't have zoning and you don't want to look for the best, you will not look for the best, even when there's no zoning. If you have zoning and you want to look for the best, you get the best. So if you have zoning, you don't want to look for the best, you will not get the best.
Yeah.
It's a logical statement. So if you have zoning and you have the best available, go for the best.
Now,
let the argument be made that with zoning, it represses efficiency and breadth of experience.
I mean, that's your point. It doesn't repress
at all.
Yeah, if you're willing to go for the best, that's the caveat.
And we encourage people to go for. That's why the party, PDP, to the best of my understanding, and if you listen to the governor yesterday, he said, we have people who are capable of doing it. We have to rally the nation together by this strategic arrangement to have this party zone the presence to the south. We have, for example, a sitting governor from Oyo State, Sheyi Makinde, who's eminently qualified. We happen to be was a member of the party until recently. We have the former president, Jonathan, who was equally present under the party's banner. Yeah. We have these people who are not just zoned to the south, but capable and competent and efficient, and they can do the job better than the current president.
Good. You said PDP is now getting a grip.
They've gotten a grip.
Lero Lainka, Wike's special SSA, rhetorically asked a question in his statement. He released the statement immediately after that NEC meeting that PDP held. Is it not too late in the day? I mean, his argument is that this is what Wike has been crying for over this. But then he's saying, is it not too late in the day?
No, let me put it this way. The statement of not being late in the day it's been there for the past 1 week or thereabout, from multitude of voices. So I don't want to implicate a single voice in that statement. It's not late in the day. And I was asked this question, I said, how? The next election is 2027. This president, his presidency, his party, his government panicked. That's why they jumped the gun. Abandoned governance, started doing rally across the country, including inside the villa, being endorsed all over the place, stimulating defections, not in an organic manner. Because if you don't have something to work on in terms of progress and policy, I'm coming. You do politics. If not, what we're discussing now should be discussed a year later. The presidential primaries will be in July, August next year. That's a year from now. The PDP convention is going to be in November. Maybe APC will do in December. Another one in December, January. You still have 6 brimming months to get it right. These candidates will emerge in 10, 11 months. It is enough time for the party to groom itself, retool its infrastructure, ready its ranks, and go for it. So, if you do it now, it is better not to do it now to do it in the next 1 year.
Okay.
But if you do it now, you have enough time for people to absorb the blow. That is why if you find the two entities that are rioting with the decision is the presidency and the APC and the ADC. Mm-hmm. If you see the presidency, why? Jonathan, front page, The Nation. The others said he will not do it because that's what break the rank of certain unity. Because if he comes into the party and picks up the ticket, the president is toast. His party is toast. We know it. If Obi comes in, he's even toast. Therefore, it is important they shrink the space in the south and said, let there be emptiness there outside the president. Let them face this avalanche coming from the north. That's not going to happen.
Now,
the north is going to settle this matter because PDP is going to have a southern candidate, strong, willing, ready to rule.
Now, all this is based on speculation. If Obi has joined the coalition, Atiku's Jonathan. The talk is whether he will be wooed back, and there are talks in the grapevine that he gave some conditions. All right. So, Wike has been canvassing for this. I mean, what has happened to happen, but has also been rooting for President Tinubu for 2020. For the 2027 race.
Let me get it
now that this has happened.
Let me get it right. My concern is about the party. In my conversation with you, the PDP, its internal dynamics, its future plan, the ADC, the APC, Labour, in that mix.
Good.
The PDP has done the presidency as a party, as an organism, with key institutions, zone the presidency to the south. Only members of the party will contest that presidential primary in the south, from the south. If you're not a member of the party, you will not bear the flag of the party. You have to be a member of the party, first ab initio. So even if former President Jonathan is being wooed, and he stays, he was a president of the party, of the country as a PDP member, but now he's a statesman. So if you're going to have to come into the fray, you have to reactivate that membership. It's normal for such a person to move up. He can come now and reactivate it. Then that means, here is my card again as a member of PDP. If Peter B is the one to be lured in and say, do it. Here's my card, I've gotten it new. Sheba Kido is a member of the party. Nobody who is not a member of the party will contest the primary of the party. That is the law. Not only of the Constitution of the Federal Republic,
but the FCT minister is still a member of the party. I'm
saying the candidate of the party. I'm not saying somebody rooting for somebody else. I'm saying for you to contest the primary of the party, you must be a member of the party.
So you don't see any issue with the FCT minister?
No, I'm not interested in that.
I know.
I'm interested in the party.
Okay, so you think that is not an issue?
The PDP as a party are taking a decision, very firm institutional decision, administrative decision. We are shifting this presidential fire or heat to the south. All the members of the party who are interested from the south, should present yourself.
But are you aware that he is up in arms against the November 15, 16 convention?
No, I'm not aware of that. I'm only interested in what the party has done as a party, as an organism.
Okay. I understand.
Yes, I don't deal with individuals. You know what they say, what they don't say. I deal only with the party. Like APC, I deal with the party, and I deal with the president because he's our president. Whether he's doing very well or doing badly, as I think he's doing badly, he's the president.
Let's move further. Let's not just because I knew I wanted to go with that.
No, I can't get into that.
I understand where you're coming from. But just
deal with the party.
Strictly with the
party. I'm going to need them thousands of members of the party. I'm not going to be bothered what one individual says or does.
Now, because we'll have less time there. Okay. The Joint Action Committee of Northern Youth Association saw the PDP's decision as unjust, undemocratic, betrayal of North's decades-long loyalty to the party. The North Central political stakeholders also reject the PDP's 2027 zoning template, insisting that the region will not accept continued marginalization. Then there's the Wenga Hashim Solidarity Movement, who are also saying that this decision does not bode well with them. What do you make of all this?
You see, democracy is conversation. That's my best definition. You can get any professor of political science. I'm not even one, but democracy is dialogue. It is conversation with the way we are talking. This is civic engagement. People have every right to express their feelings and their views. The party has equally the institutional mechanism to bring everybody on board. To explain to them, this is the best course of action. That's what the governor did yesterday. The governor of Bauchi State did yesterday with that brilliant outing on television. He said, I, as a person, I have not only from the north, but I am a presidential material, and I have the ambition, and I have the infrastructure, and I have the resources to do it.
And I've jettisoned it.
Absolutely, that is a high sacrifice you have to do for a country, for a democracy, for a party. That means the rest will take a cue from that and say, if he, leading the party, very important, very dominant, could simply take it up and say, let us take this down to the south. And he made another categorical statement. We take it to the south because we need a majoritarian Christian candidate. The south is a major Christian zone. And then the running mate from the majoritarian Muslim north.
Okay, that's what you said.
Yes, so I have a balance of a Christian Muslim ticket and not this insufferably confusing, chaotic and inchoate Muslim ticket that APC has been parading for some time. This is what is going to now educate and enlighten the people who are not yet fully convinced about the wisdom of this strategic choice.
You really believe strongly?
Once they are done. Sure, I am. You know why? I read this current. I've been in this for 35, going to 40 years. I read the tea leaves. Once you see panic in the ranks of APC and ADC over the zoning decision of the PDP, you know that the party has gotten them. Because if you have a southern anchor of any sort, even from southwest Sheyi or southeast Obi or south to Jonathan, that means the south is not going to be disembodied, dismembered. It will not be a playfield of one man alone. Two guys who are giants of this context, we play out there. The North will now do what? Settle this battle.
So do you think, well before we run out, do you see that happening? That Obi, who is now with ADC coalition, and the president whose wife is saying, we don't want to go back to Aso Rock. Do you think that there's any likelihood
politics
of their reversing and get... Well, Jonathan is still in the PDP.
Politics is out of the possible. It is not out of the impossible.
Out of the possible.
Out of the possible.
Okay.
Now, out of the possible implies that everything humanly done to turn the ideal into the real, possibility into reality, and expectation into what we see in our domain will be done. That's why politicians are very, very wise and crafty and gifted.
I'm very positive.
They will do all that to get it done.
As
I said, when that is done, like I said somewhere else, and it's an Obi, Jonathan, or Sheyi Makinde, like 2015, when Jonathan had the moral impulse to pick that phone and make a call, I would encourage President Bola Tinubu to pick up that phone and make a call when he's defeated in that election.
All right, I just have a minute to go. I listened to a stakeholder of the party said this. He said this. This action by the PDP will bury and destabilize the party. According to this school of thought, zoning has never really been PDP's Achilles heel. That this particular zoning is driven by selfish interest.
Now, you see, desperation is very important in public discourse. I've seen in the past 1 week the riot act of desperate people. They didn't see this coming. They have pronounced the party dead. Now there's a conversation of the PDP and zoning and convention. A year ago, 6 months ago, the party wasn't existing. People stuck to their gun and said, we are going to rebuild this party. I can name them. The Balo, for example, the governor has mentioned, Damago has mentioned, Senator Wabara, Chairman of the Board of Trustees, even people like Senator Benubi and the rest of them, Saraki, former Senate President, all of them put their hands together and said, we have to save this party. So now the party is now the darling of some people and now a mortal enemy of others.
Prof.
This statement, very, very interesting statement from a mind that is rattled and frightened.
All right, we'll leave it there, Prof. We'll see how events play out. Prime author and political analyst, Prof. Udenta. Udenta, I've had an interesting chat with you. It's
a pleasure to be with you as always.
All right, well, that's it for this edition of Arise Prime Time. To join us again next week. From me and the entire team here in Abuja, goodbye and thank you for watching.